Beto O'Rourke, a former Texas congressman who many suspect will make a 2020 presidential bid, visited UW-Madison on a swing through the Midwest.
And I wanted to come meet the people who were the real story. Same here at this very storied, historic university, and it did not disappoint.
O'Rourke says he wants to meet voters in an honest way as he mulls a presidential bid.
And I really came here without much of an agenda beyond being able to listen to you.
Wisconsin is becoming a larger player among 2020 Democratic hopefuls, as some try to correct what many criticized Hillary Clinton for in skipping states in the Midwest. O'Rourke says he knows the feeling, being from El Paso, Texas.
We were literally physically so far removed from the centers of power that we didn't feel like we had a voice in this country's future.
He says he wants to reverse that trend.
And I wanted to make sure that everyone is involved in the conversation in the future of this country. As I try to make a decision about how I can be most helpful to the United States right now, I want to make sure I'm listening to everyone. Not just those that I know in El Paso and in Texas, but everyone, including going to places that are forgotten or overlooked.
As he spoke to a lecture hall of about 200, O'Rourke took questions ranging from the current state of political rhetoric to economic issues. He also touched on funding for a southern border wall, which made news just hours earlier with President Trump's declaration of a national emergency.
There are legitimate concerns about security and safety at the border. Transnational gangs, illegal drugs that are crossed, the traffic in human beings. We can meet those challenges not with a wall, which is absolutely ineffective, but in supporting Border Patrol, Customs and Border Protection.
Overall, he says it is important to speak with young people who will inherit the policies currently being discussed on the national stage.
There are students who have just as much, one could argue, a greater vested interest in the outcome because they will be living with it longer than I will.
He later added,
just what we expect out of ourselves in our politics, which was a recurring theme tonight. How do we reflect the genius that's in this room, the diversity of talent and life experience, and country of national origin and every other thing that might otherwise divide us but is coming together in this room. How does that come together in our politics?
O'Rourke would not weigh in on whether he is entering the presidential race, saying he was thinking about it. O'Rourke heads to Chicago after Madison, as 2020 presidential candidate Amy Klobuchar will be in Eau Claire on Saturday. For WSUM News, this is Will Keneally.